A very pleasant morning to all of you, all my dear children. Am I audible to you all? Okay, thank you. So we are into I Can't Climb a Tree Anymore, written by Ruskin Bond. So which is what we are just looking into. So the nutshell of the story is very simple. The narrator, after 25 years, he is coming to the house where he lived earlier. When he was a boy, when he was a young man, he lived there. So now he has come to take a look at that house. He is standing on the edge of the road on the verge of the grass and just looking into the house. Nothing has changed into the house. Only change was what? There was a new outhouse which was built at the back of that house, and there was only few trees. When the narrator was there were plenty of trees. But the narrator was anyhow happy because his favorite jackfruit tree was still there. Then he was looking in there, exactly in the position where he was standing, there was a turnstile. So he used to play when he was small, he used to go round and round and round until he gets dizzy. Okay, but now there is only a wall, the turnstile has been removed, and they have built a big wall there also. His grandmother will always say, blessing will remain in the house where tree's shadow fall on. Okay, the tree shadow, where all the tree shadow falls, the house is going to receive a lot of blessing. So he believes that this house receives a lot of blessings also. And there are some holy of trees. Okay, this holy of plants are planted in and around the wall because it grows very tall and it looks so beautiful also. As he was looking into the house, one small girl who was having black hair and very lively eyes just peeped through the wall and asked him what was he looking for. And he didn't answer for it. What did he say? He asked her whether the house belonged to her. She said, no, this house doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my father, who is a colonel. He is about to become a brigadier, like that he says. So there is a small conversation between them. And then the girl is asking, is he there to buy the house? The narrator says, no, of course, I'm not going to buy the house. 25 years ago, I lived in this house from my boyhood, right from my childhood. I have lived in this house. My grandmother was the owner of this house. After she died, the narrator's family have sold the house and they have gone far away. So this is the story which he has said. And once again, the girl is asking him, okay, I think you don't have that much of money to buy this house. Anyway, do you want to buy this house? Once again, she asked like this. So the narrator says, no, I am not here to buy the house. Then the girl offered him to come inside the house and take a look because she also came to know that the narrator once lived here. So the narrator was very curious to go in, but at the same time, that girl is a stranger. So he was little bit hesitant. Okay. He asked her, won't her parents say anything? Okay. Won't her parents say anything about what has happened? Then what happens? She said, no, my parents doesn't have any problem of bringing my friends here. So what did he say? No, I am elder than your friends. Your friends must be small. I am an adult friend. Will your parents mind me coming inside? She said, that's not an issue. My parents have gone to the club, so they are not supposed to come here. So they will not be coming here. If they come also, they are not going to tell anything like that. He's saying. And she is asking him, how old are you? So how old the narrator was. And he says, I am a middle-aged man. So he doesn't want to disclose his age. So he said he's a middle-aged man. And to prove it, what did he do? He did not go enter the house through the gate. Instead, he preferred to climb over the wall. He was treating within himself that youth was there. But what happened? He just climbed the wall, but it was with a very great difficulty. So somehow he managed to climb on the wall, but literally he was very tired. He was panting for his breath. But the girl was standing there. She offered her hand. Let me help you. Like that, she provided the hand. But this man, no, he didn't hold her hand. He jumped into the wall, breaking the whole yoke. Somehow he landed on the floor. So that's how he came inside. When they came inside, they were walking on the grass. Both of them were walking on the grass. They were talking. At that particular time, the narrator sees the stone bench which is situated under the mango tree. When he looked at the stone bench, he imagined how his grandmother, she was pruning the roses and the other plant. What is the other plant, ma, which is referred here? What is the other plant they say? It's not oleoc. Bougainvillea. Very good, Srinija. So she will be pruning the rose plants and the bougainvillea. And after that, what she will do? She will get tired. When she gets tired, she will go and sit in that stone bench. Everything comes to his mind, my dear children. He's very, very, very happy sitting down there. And plenty of sounds comes to his mind. Okay. When he sits there, he asked the girl, okay, we needn't get inside the house. Let us sit on this stone bench, like that he says. And he sat for a while and he closed his eyes and he was thinking. Plenty of sounds ran in his mind. What are the sounds? The music of the piano, which his grandfather used to play. That is sound number one. Sound number two is the chiming of the wall clock. I told you, no, each one there will be a pleasant music which is followed by a beat. If it is 1 o'clock means one bell sound will come. 2 o'clock means two bell sound will come. So that is chiming of the clock. Okay, so that's one. And point number three is the constant twitter of budgerigars. I'm sorry, dear children. The constant twitter of budgerigars. Budgerigars is an Australian parrot-like bird, which remains, which is of the parrots family. It is a colorful bird. So those birds will come and twitter in the veranda. So that sound he could hear. And then he could hear the grandfather cranking his old car. We all know, no? When we apply the key in the olden days car, if we turn the key, there will be a noise from the engine. So that is the cranking sound. So all these sounds he could remember. Okay, so far we have seen. Is there any doubts with this, my dear children, until this? Any doubts until this? Okay, no doubts for Rahini and Srinija. Very good. What about the others, dear children? Okay, fine. I hope you all are fine with it. Let me share my screen right now for you all. I hope my screen sharing is visible to all, my dear children. I'm on your screen right now. Is my screen sharing visible to all? Okay. Is it clear, ma? Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, dear children. Fine. All right. So let's move on into the lesson. So we saw everything here. And see, for some times he didn't speak a single word, my dear children. After that, the narrator started saying, I used to climb the jackfruit tree, he said, opening the eyes. So far, he was closing his eyes. He was remembering all the sound. When he opened his eyes, he told that girl that he used to climb the jackfruit tree when he was small. Okay, then what happens? Do you want to climb it again? My parents won't mind, said the girl. No, no, not after climbing the garden wall. Let's just sit here for for a few minutes and talk. I mentioned the jackfruit tree because it was my favorite place. Do you see the thick branch stretching out over the roof? Halfway along it, there's a small hollow in which I used to keep some of my treasures. So, dear children, the girl is asking, do you want to climb the tree once again? So he said, no, I used to climb the jackfruit tree when I was small. So the girl is replying him, do you want to climb it once again? Don't worry, you can go and climb. My parents are not going to tell anything, like that she said. But see, this narrator is old enough. No, he says, no, no, not after climbing the garden wall. Because while climbing the garden wall itself, he was panting for breath. He was breathing heavily. And he is telling her that just we will sit here for a few minutes and we will talk. Like that he said. And he also says that the jackfruit tree was one of his favorite place. So when he was small, he used to climb on that tree and that was his favorite place. And he is pointing out to an extent to that girl on top. He is pointing out at the jackfruit tree's branch and he's telling her that, see, you see the thick branch stretching out over the roof. So he is pointing out at the branch of the jackfruit tree which runs straight over the house. On top of the house, that branch of the jackfruit tree is going on. He is showing that and he's saying halfway along from the tree to the house, there was a small hollow. Hollow means what? A small hole there. He used to keep some of his treasures. Treasures means what? Precious articles. Okay. So he said like this. The girl became very curious. She asked him, what kind of treasures do you have? Like that she asked. So see what kind of treasures he had there. Oh, nothing very valuable. Marbles I would want. A book I wasn't supposed to read. A few old coins I would collect it. Things came and went. I was a bit of a crow, collecting bright things and putting them away. There was my grandfather's iron cross. Well, not my grandfather's exactly, because he was British. And the iron cross was a German decoration awarded for bravery during the war, the First World War. When my grandfather fought in France, he got it from a German soldier. So, dear children, what does he say? She's asking, what kind of treasures you have on that jackfruit tree? Like that, she's asking. And he's saying, they are not that valuable. There are not gold or silver or anything like that. Marbles. When they were small, they used to play a lot of marbles. Whichever marbles he won, no, he can't take it inside his house because his grandmother is going to thrash him. So what does he do? He all the marbles which he has won, no, he will climb on the jackfruit tree. Halfway down in that hole, he used to hide it there. Not only the marbles, the book he was not supposed to read. So there are plenty of books we shouldn't read, right? Say for example, story books. Sometimes our parents might yell at us, go and study your lesson. Why are you always studying these comics and story books? So some sort of comics books and story books, he used to hide it there because it was a big hole. And a few old coins, old coins he collected, he used to keep it there. And he says that he was a bit of a crow. Bit of a crow means what? He was a curious-minded person. Whichever was shiny, whichever was beautiful, he used to take it from the house and he will hide it in the secret place on top of the jackfruit. Okay. And then he mentions his grandfather's iron cross is still there. So that iron cross is very precious, my dear children, because his grandfather was a British. So he was working under the British Army. And during the First World War, for his bravery, he received this from the British government, the Iron Cross. Exactly, it was not a British cross, it was a German cross. Okay, because there was a great fight between Britishers and the Germans during the First World War. You all would have learned it in your history. At that particular time, his grandfather fought in France. He was fighting from France because from France only Germany is very close by. So he got it from a German soldier. Literally, he got it from a German soldier. It's a valuable thing. And the Britishers honored him for his bravery by providing that Iron Cross. See, it's a historical Iron Cross, my dear children. Okay. Do you know in India for bravery, they provide one award, one gallantry medal. Can somebody tell me what is the name of that medal? In India, for gallantry, they provide, for your bravery, they provide one award, that too in the military. Could you all tell which one? Yeah, Veer Chakra, you are half right. Yes, Yadu. Paramveer Chakra is the right answer. Yes, ma'am. Paramveer Chakra. Okay, let me tell you what is Paramveer Chakra. So the explanation is given here below. See here, the Paramveer Chakra is the highest wartime gallantry award. So it's you must feel lucky when you are alive if you get that particular award. Possibly plenty of soldiers have received that award only after their death. So that award will be offered to their wife or parents of that dead soldiers. See, given to soldiers of Indian Armed Force soldiers alone will receive it for the display of utmost courage and complete selflessness when facing the enemy. When facing the enemy, they will never be selfish. They will be highly patriotic. Even they sacrifice their life for the sake of that award. Since its inception, what is inception? Since from its start, it was started from the year the Indian government started providing Paramveer Chakra from the year 1950. There were 21 fearless heroes who received it. Out of them, 14 were posthumous. Posthumous means what? Receiving it after death. So 14 soldiers after death only they were provided the Paramveer Chakra. And they have been awarded this medal till January 2019. Until January 2019, there were only 21 Paramveer Chakras provided to the gallantry uh, soldiers. Is that clear, my dear children? Any doubts here? So this cross, no iron cross, is equal to that Paramveer Chakra because his grandfather has won it during the First World War. The British government offered him this cross as a medal like Paramveer Chakra. Okay, fine. So that was still there. That particular iron cross was still in that jackfruit tree. So that's what he says. Okay, fine. So after listening to this, that young girl is asking, do you still have it? Do you still have some treasures there on top of the jackfruit tree? Like that she is asking. Look at the reply of the narrator. He says, no, he said, looking her in the eyes, I left it in the jackfruit. So what does he say? So she is curious and looking at the iron cross. She's asking him, do you still have that iron cross with you? The narrator says, no, the iron cross is still on top of the jackfruit tree. It is still there on the jackfruit tree. So she was a little bit surprised. She asked him, you left it in the tree? Such a gallantry award. Have you left it in the tree? Like that she is asking. He said, yes. I was so excited at the time, packing and saying goodbye to people and thinking about the ship I was going to sail on that I simply forgot all about it. They were in a hurry of packing all the goods. He was a little bit excited because he's going to a new place. So he has to travel through a ship. And in fact, he had to say goodbye to all the neighbors. In that hurry burry, he had totally forgotten about the iron cross. He just left it 25 years ago untouched and he has gone out. Okay. So, like that, he says to that particular girl. And she quietly said, it may still be there in the hollow part of the branch. So she is telling, okay, then the iron cross must still be there in that hollow of the branch, in the hole of that jackfruit tree, like that she says. And he says, yes, he said, it's 25 years, but it may still be there unless someone else found it. So he says, so see, 25 years have gone out. If somebody would have climbed on top of the tree, definitely they would have taken that iron cross. Otherwise, it is going to be there only. Like that, he is telling. Would you like to go and look? He is asking. So that girl is asking him, okay, do you want to climb on the jackfruit tree and have a look whether that iron cross is there or what? Like that, she is asking. So this narrator says, no, my dear girl, I can't climb trees anymore. Look here, this is the title which is provided there. So he can't climb trees anymore because he is old enough. He can't climb the tree like that, he says. If you can't, I will go and see. You just sit here and wait for me. Like that, she says. So what does the girl says? Okay, no problem. You can't climb the tree. You just sit down here. I will go and climb the tree and I will find it for you. Like that, she says. You just sit here and wait for me, like that, she said. And as she said, she went there and she started climbing the jackfruit tree. When she reached that halfway down that hollow, no, that hole, no, she said, I have found it. She says. So the iron cross is there only. She cried, I have found something. I have found something here, like that she's telling. Because she can't identify whether that is the iron cross, the German iron cross, like that. She can't find it. She said, I have found something like that. And now, barefoot, she ran breathlessly towards him in her outstretched hand, a rusty old medal. So she ran more. So she has removed her chappals and she has climbed on top of the jackfruit tree. When she came down, she didn't even wear her chappal, okay, her slippers. She ran barefoot straight to that narrator with a rusty old medal. Rusty means what? Because that is an iron cross, right? So after a long time, for 25 years, it hasn't been in use. So totally it was rusted. Okay, it was brown in color. She took it and ran towards him. He took it from her and turned it over on his palm. She took it, this narrator received it from her and he turned and saw it. Okay. Then she's asking him, is it the iron cross? She asked eagerly. So is that iron cross which your grandfather received from the German soldier? Like that she's asked. So he says, yes, like that. That is it. So he has found the iron cross there. Then the girl is telling, now I know why you came. You wanted to see if it was still in the tree. Now she's telling, now I understand why you came. You did not come to buy the house, but you have come for this cross only. No, like that she's asking. And the narrator says, you may be right. I am not really sure why I came, but you can keep the cross. You found it after all. So the man said, sometimes you may be right, my dear girl. I'm not sure why I came. Really, I'm not sure. I came whether for the cross or for the house. I'm not really sure. I just wanted to look at this house, like that he said, and he told, and he gave the cross to that little girl and said, "You found it, so you can have it with you. You can keep the cross with yourself." Like that, he says to that particular girl. And the girl sees she's a very good girl. She says, no, you keep it. It's yours. It's your grandfather's. So, in memory of your grandfather, you can keep it. Like that, the girl says. But it could have remained in the tree for another 25 years if you hadn't climbed. Mute yourself, ma. Somebody has unmuted. Tarika, mute yourself. Okay, thank you. So, dear children, so he says, but it could have remained. See, if that small girl did not climb up on the jackfruit tree and find that iron cross there, definitely that iron cross is going to be there for another 25 years. So, like that, he says, if you hadn't climbed up to look for it, definitely it is going to be there only. So, you don't worry, you can keep the cross. Like that, the narrator is telling to the little girl. But if you hadn't come back again, the girl is telling, but if you hadn't come back again and asked me to take it, I wouldn't have taken it. No, that cross belongs to you only. Like that, the girl is telling. On the right day, at the right time, and with the right person, he said. The narrator is saying, this cross is on the right day, on the right time, with the right person. It belongs to you only, ma. Like that, he is telling to that girl. Getting up and placing the medal in her hand, it wasn't the cross I came for, it was my youth. So he said, providing the cross to her, he says, I did not come here for the cross. I came here to look back at the memory of my youth, how I lived here. So the narrator has lived here as a small boy, as a young man also. So he lived very happy. He climbed on the tree, he climbed on the wall, he has gone around in the turnstile. When he imagines everything, when he just closes his eyes, everything comes picture perfect in his mind. When it comes like that, he is reliving his youth. It's a precious moment, right? When you all become old, when you all think about your old memories, how you played in the ground of Orchard School, how did you share the food with your classmates, everything when you close your eyes, or you will come back to Orchard School after say for example 30 to 40 years, definitely these sweet memories will come to your mind, and it's a wonderful memory to relish, my dear children. So that's how exactly the narrator is also relishing. He says, I have not come for the cross, I have came for my youth which I have lost. So now he is no more young, but he could enjoy, he could relive the youth when he looks at this house. Like that he says. She didn't understand that. She's just 13 years old. She can't understand his words. But she walked with him to the gate and waited. So she took him straight to the gate to send him out. Okay. Where the road turned, he looked back and waved at her. Then he quickened his steps and moved briskly towards the bus stop. So, dear children, so he started going. He said goodbye and he went. So she could see him for a quite far distance. When he is about to get vanished, he turned back and waved at her goodbye and he just went away. Okay, he was briskly moving. When he was coming, remember, my dear children, when he was coming, he climbed on the wall, he was panting for breath, right? He was breathing heavily. But now, after regaining his youth, no, he thought still he is young in his mind. He is young in his mind and he started walking very quickly. Briskly means quickly. There was sprightliness in his step, and something cried aloud in his heart. Sprightliness means what? The word sprightliness means lively and full of energy. Now he was energy packed. He was thinking as if he is youth. He wanted to shout that he was youth from his heart, but literally he can't do it because he is old enough, right? Now he can't go and shout on the road. Y'all can shout and play in the road. Nobody cares. But imagine me doing it. They will think some mental fellow is running on the road, right? So that's what which is with the adults. So you can't express your feeling on the road. Okay. So this is what he could do. The mango scented summer breeze made the blood course in his veins, and he forgot for a moment that he couldn't climb trees anymore. So the mango tree under which he was sitting down, no, the mango sweet smell has gone into him, and his blood course in the veins were very fast. When you become old, the blood is not going to run as fast as it was when you were young. Okay. So now he could relish his moment. Now he totally forgot that he can't climb the trees because he has regained his youth. Okay. So this is the story, my dear children. Are you able to understand? I am on your screen, my dear children. Are you able to understand, dear children? That's the end of the story. A beautiful nostalgic one. Okay. I hope you all have understood the story. There are 2 minutes more. Let me do one thing for you all, my dear children. Okay. Now tell me one thing, one question which nudges in my mind also. Why did the narrator give the cross to that girl? Why did he give it to her? Can somebody tell me? You can just type it in one word. We'll see how much you all have understood the story. Why did he give it? Because she took it, says Rahini. Okay, that might be the reason. Yes, of course, it's a real story. She too needed to be a successful person because she found it. Plenty of you all provide an answer because she found it. She needed to be a successful person. Yes, of course. As he had his youth memories and no need of evidence of his youth. Okay, very good, Srinija. Rahini. She should be like him. Exactly correct, Rahini. So this narrator, no, when he looked at that particular girl, he saw his youth in her. She was very lively, right? Her eyes was very lively. She climbed on the tree. She was running this side and that side. She was jumping over the wall. When he saw that girl, no, he thought exactly like this only he was. So he imagined that he was that girl. So that's why he provided the cross to her. Okay. So he saw her as his image. Okay, that's why he provided the cross to her. And he went off collecting the youth in his heart. He has come there to relish his youth. He has received it and happily he has gone. Okay, such a wonderful story, my dear children. I hope you all would have understood it. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you all.